Did he get the waffles? Greetings from Eastern North Carolina. We have a special report that Amos just went and got the bottle of syrup and poured half of it onto his plate with his waffles that he's eating in the living room. I have a new cast today, but I still cannot hold my darn coffee properly. And I don't want to spill it. Now, it's Saturday morning, North Carolina, Eastern North Carolina, Edenton. And most of us are waking up this morning thinking that we got a lot of shit to do and nobody feels like doing it. I woke up and, good morning, Patricia and Aaron. I woke up and, you know how you think you're like, oh, maybe I had a nightmare. But I didn't. There's a plate of rib bones on the counter. A thing of cookies that I left in the oven when I took Amos on a walk. I had turned it off. They're hard. And you know, I could never be on a diet because I forget that I'm supposed to be on a diet. Like I had 2 cookies this morning. I didn't even mean to. It wasn't even like I thought about it or planned it. I just ate them while I was standing there making Amos's toaster waffles. Anyway, I did lose 5 pounds though. And this friend of mine, Mary Scott, was like, well, why do you think you did? Did you drink a lot of water? And I was like, no, I drank a 6-pack of Pepsi. She said, did you exercise? I took Amos for that haircut. And last night I held him down for a treatment for croup. I mean, that was a lot of exercise. I smoked a pack of cigarettes the last 2 weeks. I know, it's terrible. When little Thomas had a surgery the other day, you know, they have these curtains. There was a woman across from us. And she's like this. I mean, talk about somebody that would teach you not to smoke. Anyway, it was only during the hurricane. It was necessary. It was like emergency. Good morning, Ruth and Martha. Yes, I have on my King's visor this morning. Do you have any connections with RV parks? Send me a message and I'll try to put you in touch with somebody. King's is underwater this morning in Kinston, North Carolina. I talked to my friend Vivian Howard yesterday, whose restaurant has been open, but I don't think many people have come because it's flooded all around it. Anyway, it is really a mess. I saw this great piece in the New York Times this morning that actually our bishop, Rob Skirving, shared. KOA on Market Street, Wilmington. And there's so many towns in Eastern North Carolina that aren't, you don't even know exist. I mean, I was reading the names and was like, I've never heard of that town. So anyway, a lot of people have tried to stay, and now this week are getting picked up by helicopters because they've run out of water and food. And anyway, you know, Eastern North Carolina is such an awesome place, but it's so fragile. And I think that's why we want to support hog farmers and all sorts of stuff. It's really a wonderful place to live. But it's not perfect. I mean, we have poverty, and I think this part of the state as a whole struggles to stay afloat, but it's really important. And I kind of think in 100 years from now, I don't want to read about in some book of like, Eastern North Carolina used to be a thriving place and it was beautiful and all these things. So anyway, I think it's great. Trenton, North Carolina. Yes, I did read about Trenton, Joan. But even, I don't know, like Burgal, I think you still can't get to by car. So, can you share a link to the article? Yes, I can. I think it was in it this morning or yesterday. You know, the New York Times is They only let you read like one article every 10 years for free. Anyway, it's annoying to me, but I guess they have to make money. So Eastern North Carolina, I have started a GoFundMe, and it's raised about $3,000 of my $100,000 goal, which may be lofty, but shoot for the stars. Anyway, and I don't know what we'll do with it. I think we'll have a live video kind of conference and come up with some options. I know we want to use it for the low-income housing in New Bern that Amos's counselor has spent some time helping families there. It's really important. And I think, and I'm sure a lot of people will disagree, but you know what people need? I think people need money. And I know it's great to get laundry detergent and diapers and, all that stuff. But if it were me and I had my 4 kids and we had nothing, hey, Jennifer, I would really appreciate $50. And I think it's sort of, I hate to say white privilege because I don't mean that. But I think when you're real white and you are privileged, you think, well, what if they use the money for beer? Well, you know what? It's not my job to be somebody's babysitter. And I think you can treat people with the respect that you would want to be treated. So my thought really is to give people money. So I'm willing to listen to any other thoughts. But I did talk to Vivian about that yesterday, and she sort of agreed too. Now the question would be, how much money do we give people? Do you try to help more people with less money? Do you try to give less people more money so they can actually do something with it? So anyway, that's just my current thought, was $50, maybe $100. I don't know. So if you give money to Florence's kids, Adrian's GoFundMe, that I think is what we'll do. Anyway, so, and I'm not going to steal y'all's money. Somebody's mother was so funny, got confused. She was like, why do you get a tip? You don't need a tip. Evidently GoFundMe says something about getting a tip. I don't know what it means. Bethany Frankel gives gift cards. Protects their dignity. Yeah, and I think money is even better to protect your dignity. Because how in the hell do you know where you can get to or what's open? Anyway, that's that. I like the idea of cards. Yeah, but I mean, where we live, like, we have a Rose's, and how do you know if Family Dollar's open or Dollar General or Peebles or the Speedway? Or hell, maybe you just want to go to Dairy Queen because it's your kid's birthday. Or maybe you've got a bunch of medicine that you need at the drugstore. Like you really need the medicine. Anyway, speaking of medicine, I'll get off that soapbox. Amos last night woke up at 2, where I woke up, I was like kind of sleeping, and I heard this, and I don't know how long it took me, probably 2 minutes, and he had croup. So I dug around for the, the breather thing. I couldn't find it. And then I found it. Well, then he went crazy when I got it out. And at that point, I was like, he's already can't breathe enough that this thing ain't going to work. So I took him to the emergency room, which fortunately literally is 2 minutes from our house. And I'm pretty sure we met our out-of-pocket already after that stay in the burn unit. But it was good. They're so nice there. Dr. Lowry was there, who's become our friend. It's bad. And gave him some kind of medicine that they want to watch you for a long time. And that breathing thing, holy cow, it took me and a nurse. They're like, maybe he wants a toy. It's like, oh God, you just have to power through. Anyway, I think the noise of the machine scared him. You might as well have the part in Poltergeist where the little girl Carol Ann is getting sucked down the tunnel. That is what Amos acts like when you put that mask near his nose. So anyway, hence me getting exercise last night. Christina, thank you. I love your hometown too. I do want to go to the beach, but I don't want to get in the way. My parents are there. I haven't talked to them in 2 days. I'm almost scared to call. Meanwhile, my mother-in-law keeps sending me these emails, and it's like, it has headlines like Kavanaugh kneeling during the anthem, and I'm like scared to even read what they say. And my email doesn't work. I can't send any emails out. They can only come in. It's a real problem. But my Rusty Hook Marketing, my people that do my website, poor things, they're in Morehead City, so they're screwed. So, you know what? I'm just going to have to suffer through it. Anyway, so if I don't email you, know that I can't. You better send me your phone number if you really need me. And I deleted my Tales of an Educated Debutante account because I was like, well, maybe I'll reset it up. Before you delete an account, make sure you screenshot all the server and host names. I didn't. So now, Obama could have asked me to come and speak at something, and I won't hear about it because my email, they don't exist anymore. So anyway, if you need me, adrianwood@earthlink.net is the preferred email, the only email. I'm not going to give you all my phone number. I would if you really needed it. I can't read any post on your Facebook page. It kicks me out of Facebook every time. What the hell? What does that mean? Does anybody else have that trouble? Kicks me out. Maybe you need to update your phone, or you don't have the latest version of Facebook. Never heard of that. It's weird. I wish I could help you, but I don't think I can. But what a sad state to be in. Let's see what else. We're going to take a friend out for her birthday. Actually, one of Blair's friends, but she's my friend too. She's in her 70s. And she's so good, Blair. So anyway, we're going to do that. I tried to send you an article through Facebook Messenger and it wouldn't let me. Is that wine or coffee? It's coffee. And this cup my friend Drew Lockbridge sent me, he made it. He has this business called Glitterbeard Custom Designs. It says red for Ed, and then it says cheers to educators, mofos. I do love it. And it keeps my coffee hot. And then this afternoon, we're going to play some tennis. At 3 o'clock, it is not Carolina blue. Not like UNC blue, but it is North Carolina blue. I decided that pink for Breast Cancer Month is not here for another 2 weeks. And then I was like, my state, though I do like red. Red is a real commitment to a color for a month. So it's Carolina blue. But I think I'm going to get my friend Mary Scott to draw something on it today. Do you think that's professional enough for my tennis conference? I don't know. Probably not. And, oh, look, I'm distracted. I've only been distracted once, though. That's kind of a record. What were y'all saying? Now I can't remember. You have to copy the link and open Tails Messenger account and paste the link. God, that seems like a lot of work. I don't blame you. I wouldn't do it either. Oh, my husband is a tennis pro in Greensboro. Is he going to the Thingjiggy, the conference next weekend? How's the wrist healing? Well, there's no calcification yet, but the thumb bone was not broken. So that's good news. But I will say I was real excited. I was like, I'll have my thumb out because I do all my writing on my phone with my thumbs. I can't get my thumb to the phone keyboard. So I shouldn't be excited. Amos is at home and doing fine. Yes, he is. He also had an ear infection. He's had 3 sets of tubes. So now we'll ponder if we should get another set of tubes, even though he's almost 5. Oh, what a pain. Susan Maddox is here, and she has 4 kids. I just like to say that having a lot of children, I mean, I really do love it. And maybe it's not a lot of children. Maybe if I had two, I would feel the same way. My life is a shit show. I mean, an absolute wreck. I have a stack of bills right here. I think I showed them to you last week. I haven't touched. I hadn't been to the doctor in like forever, because you need to do that. My children, I don't know. Do y'all feel so behind? I mean, I feel like I'm like swimming in muck. Anyway, I mean, no wonder nobody can exercise. It's just amazing to me. There's like crap upstairs. And even if the kids put the clothes away, there's piles of junk all over the place. I mean, all over the place. In chairs. You need a dog. I ain't getting any dog right now. Anyway, I didn't used to be like this. When they were little, I was so organized. I mean, my friends will tell you, like, gosh, you need an intern. Oh, I mean, I have a housekeeper. Yes, I know. I'll just go ahead and admit it. She comes every day. Well, I mean, I can't imagine what life would be like if she didn't come. But anyway, when you're on time, the dog pukes. Yes. Ramus poops his pants or something. Anyway, I've just this week have been like, holy crap. Okay, everybody's saying if they have two, they feel the same way, or one. Well, that makes me feel better, because I'm like thinking I need to send out some sort of public service announcement about people having too many children. But my friend Sylvia, who my friend Mary Scott says Sylvia is not actually my friend. She's my friendernet, because I've never met her, but she's a writer. She has Tales of the Mommy Trenches, from the Mommy. She has six. Not every day, Stacy. Not on Saturday and Sunday. 6. She, and her oldest just turned 7 this week. I mean, I might need to like go to Atlanta and do an on-site video so we can all see what the devil she's doing. And she's homeschooling. I mean, talk about amazing. And she's like awesome. Anyway, if you see me homeschooling, you better know that things have gotten really bad around here. Anyway, Amos is closed. That's why I have no children. Well, now you tell me, Lori. No, it's too late. If I'm doing good with work, home life is crazy. You need to go to your doctor and get a checkup. I'm too busy going to the doctor to get new cast. You can be organized because they listen to you. Yeah, I don't know why it is. And they used to nap. I got a lot done at nap time. Anyway, now I'm taking naps. I mean, it's really bad. But it's okay. As soon as I admit it, I feel better. Anyway, and I've been working really hard. I do these talks, which I love. And not that y'all care. But they take me a long time to get ready. I mean, a long time. Like, seriously. So I have been working my butt off for this Greensboro thing. And then you're always nervous because you're like, oh, God, what if somebody gets sick? I mean, no offense, but if Mama ain't here, things really get bad then. So anyway, I'm about done. Fortunately, I stayed up late last night, so I didn't get much sleep, but I worked on my, one of my sessions I finished, and the other one I'm about done, and I've done my talk. So anyway, I'm going to start this week and be ready for the weekend and rested. I don't know if I'll get a nap today. Tonight we have a party for the Iredell house. Thomas has signed us up for, and you're supposed to wear nice clothes. That's going to be a struggle. And tomorrow we have Sunday school, church. It's usually the day we clean up. We'll have to see if I'm feeling it this week. Anyway. Oh, somebody once asked me about that Kavanaugh You'll notice that I've been quiet on Kavanaugh because I really have been thinking about that scenario a lot. Can you help us get our missed school days pardoned? Oh, okay. So anyway, the Kavanaugh thing, I will chime in. I just am not, I'm still working through that personally. Not to get the subject, but can you help us get our missed school days pardoned? Well, Mark Johnson, our superintendent, who, is often the object of my vitriol, he said last night, Robin, don't wear high heels. I'm trying to give you the finger, but I don't have enough hands. And that he's going to work with our General Assembly to do that. Anyway, see, he even does something nice and it annoys me. That's what happens when you do make bad decisions. Once you make a good one, people don't trust you. I wish I could trust him, but I don't. It's like if you were married to a serial cheater and then they were like, I love you. You'd be like, oh, shut up, liar. Anyway. But I will say Bob Steinberg, who is our local rep and running for Senate, and we don't agree on a lot of things, but he's really nice and he means a lot. And he said that he and several other reps have written a letter to Cooper. Cooper said, well, we're going to have this letter about emergency aid on our meeting on October 7th. And he was like, no, we need to have the meeting now. Like, people are desperate. So anyway, I appreciate that much more. The idea that Mark Johnson went to New Bern and I saw a picture of him in jeans and a button down. I mean, oh my God, if y'all are in Eastern North Carolina, it's 9,000 degrees. Like, if I had to wear jeans, just go ahead and decapitate me. I was under the impression in a state of emergency, the federal government. No, there ain't any federal government anything. It's messy. The governor can't even change it. The General Assembly has to change it. So North Carolina does not have that rule. So, but I mean, clearly people are going on their second week of no school. And I mean, it's not like they're going to go all summer. I think the trouble is teachers are paid, and according to the General Assembly, have to work a certain number of days. So unlike if you work at SAS and you're on salary and SAS is closed for 2 weeks, you still get paid no matter if you work or not, right? It's kind of like you're sort of a annual salary and you're sort of an hourly. Anyway, I think it is. It's like, well, why are we going to pay them if they're not working? So anyway, I don't get it. But that's just how the way it is. So hopefully that'll change. But yes, Mark Johnson is working on that for you. And speaking of the devil, Mark Johnson also, KW cares. That's nice. We were away from Matthew. Good. I think you will be. I think one of my questions is, what role does Johnson's board even serve? Do they have authority? Well, Johnson, now thinks he's the boss of the DPI. And the General Assembly did give him a lot more power, Robin. I guess because he's a Republican and he's a big charter school advocate. And so anyway, he does have right much power, but he doesn't have any power in that. And truthfully, the General Assembly likes him because he does what they want to do. But, I mean, I wouldn't trust him further than I could throw him. Good morning. Hey, Julane. I think that I'll just go over a few things. And those of you who don't want to hear about North Carolina education, don't listen. But before the hurricane, there was Mark Johnson put up his website, his own website, not that the taxpayers paid, but it's set up through GoDaddy, and it's northcarolinasuperintendent.com. And he said, if you need weather help, go to my website. That's shared on DPI's website. Well, an hour later, he announces that the DPI website is going to have to be closed because of the hurricane in Raleigh. Now, I don't know much about technology and computers, but I know people that do. And this one woman was like, the server's not in the basement in Raleigh. There's no reason you would do that. And the other interesting thing is that though people in North Carolina couldn't access the DPI website during the hurricane, people in Wisconsin could. So the server wasn't even totally closed. It was just banned for people from North Carolina to drive website traffic to Mark Johnson. I don't care if you're a Republican or a Democrat or an atheist or a Hare Krishna. That is sneaky as hell. Anyway, y'all better watch out when people start doing shit like that. If Adrian did stuff like that, I mean, y'all be like, oh my gosh, he's awful. Anyway, so when he goes to Newbern to check on stuff, I don't trust him for a second. Anyway, and now he's been using this whole $35 million for the Safer School app, which who doesn't want safer schools? And $5 million for this app that Kim Martin's office is doing. Now, there's a task force, Safer Schools Task Force, and I heard they have a meeting on Thursday that's open to the public. Be curious to see what they do in those meetings. I wish I could go. He announced the Safer School Initiative and did these real pretty posters, color, teachers don't have much color. Thomas, be quiet. And does the poster have anything about DPI on there? Nope. And the state board was like, why did you not invite us to the press conference? Why didn't you put us on the poster? Well, suddenly yesterday he says, we, DPI, are the chief insurers of all the schools east of 95. We. Like my dad says, is that French we? So now, when it's convenient, he is DPI. But during the hurricane, anyway, I'd be careful. Very careful. Yes, the app is free. It's funded through the Sandy Hook Promise, which has an incredible endowment, obviously. I mean, a whole class of kindergartners were killed. Those posters also had PENC as a sponsor. He didn't include NCAE. Tell the folks what PENC is, Courtney. Not the North Carolina Association of Editors. Anyway. And the app has already been made and it's free. And they have a call center that's free too. Does that seem odd to y'all? So if you're going to take everybody to the Angus barn for dinner, I think I've told y'all this before. But then Adrian says to you, hey, my friend Vivian Howard, she can cook some steak and she's willing to do it for free. Would you think, well, you know what? I'd like to hear a little more about that dinner. That'd be great. Save us $5 million. Or no, we have to have it at the Angus barn. Anyway, be careful. I think the reason it needs to be there for Mark Johnson and Kim Martin is they want to put that under their name. Established call center to save your children in North Carolina. Don't let that happen. So Zeteki is this company out of Texas, and they have been doing the pilot study for North Carolina, and they have not been paid a dime. The guy at Zeteki told me they'd been paid a couple $100,000, but I can't find any. I don't know if he was saying that anyway, it's really strange. Professional educators in North Carolina. Okay. Thank you, Debbie. But word has it that they're owed $85,000. Well, right this moment, today, if you make a call in for these pilot schools, there may be 60 schools that have this app in place, it goes to their call center. They're not getting paid. And they told me that it's because they care about kids. I care about kids. But could I run a call center for free? No. I broke my wrist on a train, Susan. And so you have to wonder, he must really think he's going to get the $5 million contract, right? I think he thinks that. And I don't blame him. I feel kind of bad for him. And I told him that when I talked to him. I said, I think you're getting mixed up with a bunch of bad eggs. And I hate it that you're going to suffer. So anyway, they've hired Jarrett Burr, Burr. And Burr works with Kim Martin on who she's going to choose the app, but then I think the people get to vote on the app. Anyway, when I call DPI now, they're real annoyed with me, especially Drew in communications. He used to like me. So I'm just think we need to keep it open and ask questions and say, who's going to get the $5 million app? Why don't we use the free one? And if it's the techie through Jarrett Burr, I would really like to see more into that spider web of relationships. So there. Now y'all can say you've accomplished something today. I can't even write about it. It's so convoluted. It makes me so mad. Anyway, there you go. $5 million when we have classrooms with nothing and families. I think 90% of families in one elementary school in New Bern have been displaced. $5 million would go a long way. Right? I think so. Anyway, the app, Aaron, why not call 911? The app is so that you could report if you saw something suspicious or if you being bullied or if somebody were doing drugs. But yes, you could call 911. The whole premise is that people don't call 911. Though I will say in Parkland, there had been several calls made about this person, but there was no follow-up. And some of the my hand's falling asleep. Some of the reason there's no follow-up is we have terrible, not a great mental health system. Anyway, what a tangled web we weave when we practice to deceive. My mother's always quoted that to me. I don't know why. It might have been deceitful. Anyway, so there you go. So what are you going to do today? Today you can do something nice for somebody. You could, if you have email, you could send one of your child's teachers or all of them a really nice email and tell them thank you. That would be nice to do. Or you could send your doctor an email and tell them thank you. I have several doctors I need to say thank you. Mary Helen Hutchinson is one because she's the doctor that I have her cell number and I just text her when I'm needy. Not a very good friend. Anyway. Jones Dairy in Wake County. Oh, that is a mess. They got some guy that lives behind the school who was in the Army. He's a veteran, and he's Looney Tunes, and he's threatening to shoot up the school. And the family keeps saying, well, he's not dangerous. He's just, insane. Insane people don't say stuff like that. So it might be worth, if that were my brother and he were doing that, and my brother's not alive anymore, so it's not ever going to be him. But if it were, I would be like, you know what, Adam is insane, but I think I'm going to get Adam some help. And I think I'll move him out of that house because I don't think he needs access to an elementary school. Right? Anyway, what would the app do in this situation? Nothing. But Jessica, I think the app is a good idea. I really don't. I think anything we could do is a great idea, right? It doesn't hurt. But I think the amount of money spent to duplicate an app in a call center, a building filled with people waiting for tips, when there's already a call center that's available to us for free. And the only reason I think we don't want it is because of the philosophy behind Sandy Hook is more gun control, which I'm all for gun control. I mean, really, I don't want anybody having any Uzis. So anyway, written ECAP of this live stream app. Yeah, it's an app. So the $5 million, the legislature says it's for the app, but they say it's for the setting up the call center. Hey, Terry, but the call center already exists. But Kim Martin wants a call center in North Carolina. It doesn't matter where the fuck it is. It's a call center. It's like if your computer's broken, why do you care if you talk to Wyoming? Anyway. I've talked to the SBI. I've talked to the North Carolina Sheriff's Association. I've talked to people on the task force. I've talked to people at DPI. I can't find one person that agrees with Mark Johnson and Kim Martin. Not one. Not one. Oh, I've talked to senators. I've talked to reps. I hadn't talked to the governor, but I have emailed him a few times. He's real busy. So anyway, if you're going to do something, if Adrian's going to do something, don't you want people, you feel like people agree with you? Only want to do it if they get the credit for it. Yes. It's like the opposite of the Bible, right? Anyway. It's just me. Okay. I've been talking a long time now. I don't want to keep y'all from being, oh God, I don't even have my pajamas on. These pajamas are so ugly too, especially with a red hat. I don't want to keep y'all from being productive today. Though I am awake now after my 10 minutes of sleep. I question the efficiency of a call center in general, but particularly out of state. No, Joanne, I really don't. Talking to the Sheriff's Association, I think what's worrisome is that no one in North Carolina is, the people that should be a part of this process are not, and they're not being invited to meetings. They're not being asked to serve on the committees. I mean, wouldn't it make sense for law enforcement to be a part of the process in deciding how to keep our schools safe? I think the fact that they're not is a real concern, and they think it's a concern. Anyway, it's weird when I can't find anybody that supports it except the head of the communications person at DPI and Mark Johnson and his lackeys. Remember the one that did the angry post about my superintendent thing? That still makes me so happy. That's why I screenshot it. I love angry emojis. Rebecca, I didn't get a purple cast. I got a blue one. For North Carolina. Anyway, local law enforcement is involved sometimes, and they often say, I can't read your whole comment. I'm all for discussion, but there is no discussion. It's why would we use something free if we can spend a bunch of money and do one that we need to pay for? And that's just not my first theory. You know? Anyway, Mark Johnson is concerned with Mark Johnson. Yes, I would agree. Really. I don't think he's mean or evil or anything. You should post a list of the top reasons why it's a bad idea. Maybe it's not a bad idea, but I think it should be an option in a couple ideas, right? That's really the point. The point is there's an agenda that's not looking at the options of the ideas. Like when I got this cast, he kind of talked to me about, well, if we did a brace, if we did a cast, this is what this means, this is what this means. And then asked me questions, and he was like, I think a cast is better for you because of these things. He didn't just say, here, this is what you're getting, and this is why. Anyway. Common sense is lacking. Yeah, it is. And I think people that work with money are like, oh, God, we got so much money, $5 million is nothing. But it's not nothing to the people sitting in eastern North Carolina. It's not nothing to the family whose hogs were drowning and they had to go get another generator. It's not nothing to the people in the housing complex who don't have any underwear. It's not nothing to the schools who are trying to find money to get trailers to educate kids. $5 million is a lot. Anyway, it's not nothing. And if you only have a certain amount of money, like at your house or my house, you have to prioritize what's most important. I do think safety is important. So at our school now we have a buzzer system so people can get in. I think that's great. I mean, I was wondering, why are we doing all this stuff when you can just walk right in the school? There's some things you could do first that would make you a little bit safer. Anyway. If you hadn't read the book, A Mother's Reckoning by Dylan Klebold's mom, I would encourage you to read it. It's really good. and very intuitive and insightful. I think it's the last book I read. Now I just read People magazines. Oh, Rachel, my cousin from England. And there's Nicole Proctor Barsigli. Hi, Nicole. Carry on, people. Next Saturday, I will not be here because I'll be in Greensboro. And where will I be the next Saturday? Oh, it's my wedding anniversary. That weekend, October the 7th, there's a big dinner fundraiser thing in Raleigh. And I sort of want to go. I might send them a message and see if I could help somehow. There's also this Wednesday night at the Foxy something bar in Raleigh. Vivian is going to be there with this Ashley Christensen girl. And I think tickets are $75 and all the money goes to Florence, and it's from like 5 to 7. God, I would have gone because I have to leave Thursday morning anyway. But it's the Chowan County Fair. And I have to prioritize my life. And the Chowan County Fair is at the tip top of wonderful things that we do as a family. I mean, it is a good fair. I would encourage that to anyone that comes. So anyway, I'll be supporting Eastern North Carolina at the Chowan County Fair. All the Queen's Horses. Oh, Netflix. Yes, love that fair. Oh, Sydney, we'll see you there. We're going to go Wednesday night. It's real expensive, but it's real good. Anyway. Might have to get more coffee. Carry on, people. Behave yourselves.
Oh, wow. Oh, give me that.
Be nice to your children. I'm about to go shove medicine in all of mine. Thomas's lip is looking pretty good. If anybody has any suggestions for me to be more organized, I don't want to hear them. I don't. No, sir. But now if you want my children to come over and play at your house, I would love to hear from you. Send me a message and I'll send you my cell number. Particularly if you can get them off the television. I look so thin now. Goodbye.